Welcome to the party. Now, this is just going to be an introductory episode into the Alex Prodealcentre map. It's actually a beautiful map when you start to dig down deep into it. I've played this map for a couple of hours now, and the starting equipment, it is somewhat jumbled up. I mean, look at the state of that, it's ridiculous. He's just meshed it all together. But when we get rid of some of the stuff that we don't need, it actually becomes much more enjoyable. So we start off with your farmhouse over here. There is a 3-car garage. You might be able to squeeze 4 into there depending on the size. Then we have a workshop with a working door and a working sliding door. Now this is a nice idea, but again you can't fit the harvester in here, which is a bit of a downside to it. So if you want the harvester to be repaired, you're going to have to go to the main workshop, which is up by the dealership. But having a look at our equipment, we've got a lot of equipment, and I know which stuff we're not going to use. Like, we're not going to use this. We're not going to use this because we're going to be ploughing a lot. This will come in handy. This seeder we'll have to update because that one's not particularly brilliant. And it has a weird connection. For some reason, it's not compatible with the tractors. So that's something to look into. And I don't think I'll need this now. This garage can be quite deceiving as well because it has solar panels on this side, but you don't earn any money from it. And the weight, we'll probably get rid of 1 or 2. I don't think we'll be needing it. We'll probably end up getting rid of 1 tractor as well. I mean, I'd like to have 2, but is it really necessary? And looking at the size of our first field, we've got a lot of wheat. So I think one of the first things we should be doing is probably getting a mill so we can run it through with some flour. Because we don't have much in terms of animals. In fact, we don't have any animals. But let's just start selling some of the stuff that we know we're not going to use. Right, so first of all, the small tractor we can get rid of. That's completely unnecessary. Maybe get rid of the Massey Ferguson. There's no way we can upgrade that one to go higher, I think. I mean, probably not. I think that's the highest variation, actually. We'll keep a hold of them both just for now. So we're going to get rid of that plough because that one's completely useless. We're going to get rid of that cultivator because that's useless. Don't need the power harrows. I won't need the subsiler. These seeders, I mean, they're only like 4 meters, 3 meters, so we're not going to be using them. Sprayer we'll get rid of because, I mean, it adds a bit of extra money. We don't need the weeder, and we're not going to need the mower, really. And we're not going to need the universal bucket. In fact, no, we'll keep that because it might come in handy. And then the header trailers, we're not going to be moving farming anytime soon. And then we'll get rid of the heaviest weight, which is going to be this one. In fact, no, we'll keep that one, we'll get rid of this one. And then the miscellaneous, yeah, we'll keep that because that will come in handy. Right, so we've got a staggering £296,237 now, or euros, because we're in France. But we've also got to get rid of just a couple more bits and pieces. So that one we're going to get rid of. Sorry, I've got a bit of cold that time of year. So there's 9 grand. But we're also gonna, if we can, we'll delete all the props. Because it just opens up the farm then, as you can see. Makes it a little more spacious. Now, what else can we get rid of? Because there was one thing that I did forget, and that's the trailer. Only because we get 2 trailers, but they're not particularly great capacity. So we kind of want a bigger trailer. And the trailer that I will go with is the one that, I mean, I didn't make it myself, but I modified the input or the capacitor, which is this one. I like that one, it's very old-fashioned style. And we'll just change the colour scheme a little bit. We'll go with like a lighter shade of green there, like that. In fact, what if we made that one red? Looks a lot better. And the rims we'll make them as white as we can. we go, that's looking good. £21,500, and they do have the option to add another one onto the back, just in case we'd ever need that capacitor. And then we do have this harvester. Now I'm thinking that we could potentially sell the harvester as well, and just rent it one out each year for harvest season. What would we get for the harvester? We get 240 grand. I mean, for that price, we could actually buy a big one. And then get rid of the header, 33 grand. So I think we probably actually could just buy one outright. We've got 600 grand to play with. And I think I might go with maybe the rice. And I'm thinking this one. I've got my big extension on it, so we should be able to do it all in one swoop, I'm hoping. Specification, VH pipe 1.5. We'll go one pipe higher. And then there we go. Right, so does it have the ability to add the sensor? No. It's okay for that. Right, so now that one has 625 horsepower. We could probably get a decent sized trailer for that. Or a decent sized header. I mean, I was hoping for like a John Deere with... That's 13.7 is the highest so far. I think I would like the John Deere, but... I knew that's weird. I'm just going to keep it standard. I'm going to keep standard as well. I keep the design code the same. 87 grand. Right, now I'm just gonna do some magic tricks and get my harvester here quicker. So that will be 2 seconds. Right, so now they have arrived. They're looking very long, just how I want it really. So that's going to be fine for the harvest season. After all, we've got 3 fields that will need harvesting. One has wheat, one has sorghum, one has canola. Now canola, I'm thinking just sell off straight away. I don't really need it. But we need to look at getting into the grain mill. Now the best way to find which one sells what, so we've got the cereal production and we've got the EST cereal as well. And canola, so I'm assuming that one's going to be the oil mill, the cereal, and the production is probably going to be the grain, because all of our grain seems to go there. So let's go and visit the grain mill. Let's just hop into our car and drive up there. Right, well, we are arriving at our grain mill now, and here it is. And we've got a little weighing station. We weigh 2 tons, apparently. 2.5 tons. Right, so let's park him up. Right, we'll go with this one, it's be easier than doing manoeuvres. Perfect parking. Right, so as we can see, this one, the production, I don't speak French, so I'm not going to butcher the language. But this is where we will be purchasing our thing, and it's €1. So that's brilliant. That means we have a lot of money. We've got active productions, I think they're all active. I think that just defaults to it when they're a business that you purchase, so let's just deactivate all of them. Just lowers our running costs then. So with all that money that we've got now, it might be worth going over to invest in the bakery. Now the bakery is just across the way. It's just that building directly across the road. Now one thing I like about this map as well is that I don't know what they've done to the traffic, but they slow down here. I quite like that. I think that's a really nice idea. I think it's just to enable transportation. But we've got some unmarked parking spots here. So we'll just park this up here. And how much is this bakery going to be worth it? You can tell about the bakery as well. They've got some nice rye bread, sourdough loaves, bagels, and 50,000 euros. That is not bad at all. So it still leaves us with £138,000. Oh, and it's going to want to produce all of that as well, isn't it? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there we go. It added it in. Sorry, at last second then. So that's just going to keep our running total down. Right, so let's go back to the farm and we'll get everything sorted out, ready for harvest. Right, well, we're back now, so we'll just place him in the garage. He'll be fine wherever he is. And one thing I have missed out on is we're going to need a seeder and we're going to need a plough, and I've just been purchasing stuff for the sake of stuff. So I might actually sell one of the tractors, and I'm thinking potentially the Glass, because this one looks like it's probably got more room for manoeuvring. But as I said, we'll go and harvest some of the fields. Right, well, everything's all connected. Everything is looking good. But I think we'll start just in this corner here. We'll probably headland it a couple of times. In fact, we might only need to headland it once, because it's such a wide width. I'm used to using a little case. Never really embraced the industrial size of the harvesters. It's a bit too big for this map, I think. But it's not going to be too big for that field, because that is one hell of a field. So I'm going to enable my map here so I can see what we're looking like. So let's unfold. Come on, we're holding up traffic now. Unfold. There we go. Happy days. I think I might just leave this unfolded. But has he got his straw swap enabled? He has indeed. Fantastic news. So we'll just go ahead and cut all of this field open. Right, well, the harvest is winding down now. And I did a lot better than I thought I would have done. I mean, we do have 23,000 litres of canola, which will be nice to sell. I know the prices aren't going to be too brilliant at this time of year, but it'll be better than nothing. So while he's unloading, we can get a tractor in here. Now, I think the determining factor of which tractor we'll keep is probably dependent on its top speed. The 32 for the Class, and for the... right, I think it's just a matter of a game of it do. So the Class is going to go. So let's go to our thing. I mean, 160 grand isn't too bad. But I have 280 horsepower with this Massey Ferguson. And I want something with the power. So let's set, because the harvester's finished unloading, I will try and give it a longer arm, because the head is actually just about as wide as the bloody arm itself. And that's going to be the small, tidgy, tiny field down here. However, I've got a feeling that this header is just going to be a little bit too big for that gap, because that's the gap we've got to enter the field. Well, here goes nothing. I mean, we might fit. In fact, I think we will fit. Looking hopeful. No, we're going to be good. We are going to be good. Right, so let's get to harvesting. Oh. He's going to spit out some straw. Oh, no, he's not. Okay. Oh. I should turn the harvester off. I don't know what he's catching on, because he's not touching that tree. And there's no tree there for him to touch. Right, we're all Buddha. I don't know where the fuck I'm going to start with this. Because these trees are just sort of in the way, I guess. But I think around about here we'll probably be fine. Right, let's get harvesting then. Right, so the harvest is now completed. And I think we probably need to do a bit of forestry work on this field. But the only upside is this is the last time we're going to use this field as a field. Because the next time we enter that field, it's going to be a production place. Right, so let's just lease a secondary trailer. We only need about 20,000 litres capacity. And probably something like this. The extension lease, only £1,000, why not? But what I want to do with that is pour this into it and just take them up to the set, because they're going into pretty much the same place. But yeah, that's a much more suitable length now. I don't know why that menu is open. But now we've got the big struggle. Mr. Independence Axle. He's going to have to try and connect to that trailer now. But then again, that one doesn't have an independence axle, does it? So what I'm going to do is leave that where it is. And then I'll just reverse this one into the long one. That way I don't need to keep fighting with it then. Aha, first time's the charm. Right, so I know this isn't a legal exit, but needs must. We just need to get this little train down to our production point and the selling point. Right, well, we're at the production point. And how much do we weigh? 23 ton, 30 ton. There we go. Oh, he's tipping in. Oh shit, I just sold the wrong thing. That's supposed to go towards flour. Well, son of a gun. Oh well, we tried. And there we go, and that's another 22 grand. It was supposed to be the canola that I sold, not the sorghum. Oh well. We'll learn from our mistakes. Right, so we can get rid of this trailer now. And now we can back up. Right, so we're back at the farm now. And we've got to get ourselves a baler. I'm only going to bale one field this episode. Next episode, we'll be baling that one and harvesting this big one as well. Right, so let's hire a baler. And we'll need a bale loader as well. Right, so we'll collect all the straw from the smaller field, and then we're just going to do a little bit of landscaping. Right, so let's lower this. And let's fire it up. There we go, so let's just turn that off. Oh, turn it off. Eject them. Hold it all up. It's got a partial completed bale as well in there. Not too sure how that's going to affect my running costs. There we go. And then we'll just activate this. So now it's in operation mode. So it's now auto-loading everything. That means we can just drive past. So we've got 6 bales, that's not bad. And now we can do a little bit of painting and decorating. So let's just leave him over here so he doesn't get in the way. Turn off his engine, save some fuel. Right, so it's time to start painting. The decorations... No, not decorations, landscaping. And then painting. Right, so I want to go over here. I want to place down some grass. I want it to be much bigger than that. Well, I think that's all the field taken care of. Oh wait, there's just little bits here. So field number, I think it's field 8, is ceased to exist. We've got this beautiful wide space now. Oh wait, I always miss that little section there. Always, always, always. Right, so there are a few trees that I would like to cut down, but we're not going to do that just yet. But I have a plan with this part of the map. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to level off a small chunk of the land. So let's do it in a... I'll probably do it... I don't know. Where would I do it? Let's see, because I can't really put it up here because that's the entrance. Can't really have it down here because I want that as a direct entry as well. Because I want that to link up with the road and I want it to link up with this as well so I can supply water. So, I'd say around about here is probably best. Just a nice... Let's just change it to a square. Oh, let's just increase its intensity as well. That should be nice and flat now. There we go. Right, so now we can do productions. And this is just going to be, it's just a nice little money earner throughout the year. It sort of works like a BGA. I'm going to have the straw this side. It's still charging me money to put on there extra. I mean, it's okay. Maybe it's because it changes the decoration. I don't know. But we do have it now, and because I've got back with full price as well, that's nice. But yeah, right, so we've got straw now. Now, the thing I like and dislike about this is this bit here. It took me a while until somebody told me how to redeem it. And you just simply press the button next to the thing. So there's a little button here, and you press OK. And then you can spawn stuff. So if you've ever been confused by it, that's how you do it. But let's buy some water for this production. So water... Oh, no. Buy 20,000 litres for 10,200. How much would it cost to buy that? Buy 50,000 litres of straw for 0. I can earn free money. Right, so at least we've got the water in there. And then we can start adding these bills to it too. But we're not going to do that just yet. Because I kind of want to fill that before we fill this. Because it's just a waste of petrol then. But yeah, that's pretty much the stepping stones to this. I just need to add the selling points, otherwise it's going to be useless. That one. There's the selling points over here. Nice and out of the way. We can either sell it directly, or we can just sell it throughout time. And I would much rather stick that to selling, actually. Selling. Because we're only going to do straw accessories, I'm not going to bother with crates, because straw accessories sell for more at this time of year, around about 2,000 per 1,000 litres, or 2,000 per pallet. It's a pretty decent money earner. But that's going to be it for this episode. Please like and subscribe for more videos. I will be uploading more tutorials at some point too, more clear tutorials. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.